I clicked the links for the Odysee and chute, and gosh, I love how Odysee is growing. This is Clerks from 1994. If you want to judge films for their budget, then this would be 10 out of 10. It costs like, I don't know, about 50 grand. Amazing black and white film because it says something about like balancing the colors with the fluorescent lights. Filming at night would be too difficult with color film or digital or what. I don't know if digital was so popular in 94. So he did it in black and white, and it came across as a really good, solid film. A guy who sold his comic book collection to help finance his movie. It's like, then he became a movie maker, and he went on to make 6, I would say, very good films. And yeah, he made, I don't know, probably 4 garbage films. But making movies is hard, and he went out and did what he loved. So this is an example of an excellent film for the budget. Special Dead is kind of a step up. It is, in terms of budget, it costs about $600,000. Excellent film, shot on in a like a camp, like a horse riding camp type of thing. It sounds like they shot it in a month. Amazing film for the budget. For the budget, 10 out of 10. Excellent movie. And then, of course, it like even in 2006 when they filmed it, it wasn't politically correct. But nowadays it would be like there's just no freaking way. So then I saw Club Dread last night. Last night I saw Club Dread. I saw the recent King Kongs, 2005 and 2017. And as I was watching Club Dread, which is just a normie comedy from 15 years ago, you got the Indian guy who's playing a Rastafarian, sort of, and then you get the Jewish guy who's playing a Mexican with, like, they're both doing really bad accents. And even though it's an in-your-face comedy, it wouldn't fly nowadays. So then we come to Kevin Feige and the Eternals. And Kevin Feige kind of looks like he's melting. First of all, what are films going to be like post the Wu Flu and post the BLM riots of 2020? Are people going to go back to the big screen? Do they want to sit next to the next potential Typhoid Mary? I don't know. You take into account the BLM riots and then cancel culture and the ability of Twitter to destroy people and look into everyone's background, like every actor, everyone on set, everybody associated with the movie, every writer. It's like they're going to scroll through your social media history to destroy you. So if you make anything that's funny, you're going to get canceled. And like the movie theaters, the movie company is just going to cut and run. Like nobody has anyone's back because it's just like it's just a commercial zone. Like America's just a commercial zone now. So it's like people will cut and run to the highest bidder. But if the big screens sort of continue to decline, like I kind of think they will, well, people still want their entertainment. So I think you're going to get the rise of the small films, small screen films, small budget films, which is great because if you're not politically correct, you're not going to get carried or distributed by the Hollywood machine. You have to be on board with their narrative. And the thing is, that's not how comedy works. So like those movies, Club Dread and all these other films, even their little scenes in, I was watching Kong Skull Island, and that was in 2017 with everyone's favorite Brie Larson. She was good in it. What can I say? Her and the black guy, what's his face? They were really good. They were really solid together. That was a fun movie, but the black guy, what's his face, played the Captain Ahab character, chasing after this, it was like man versus monkey, man versus whale, man versus the elements. It was cool. But he was kind of this, is megalomaniac the right term? He was just driven, focused, even to the detriment of the humanity around him. He was portrayed, if you thought about it, in a very negative manner. And that was in 2017. It's like nowadays you do that and like, oh yeah, that you're gonna have to make him a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy if you want to make it. You want to make that movie. So the point is that you got a lot of things working together. The Wu Flu, which is gonna kind of make people a little scared to go sit shoulder to shoulder in a theater for 90 minutes with people. And then you got the BLM riots, and you got cancel culture on social media. So all those things are gonna it's gonna make it very difficult to make movies. So there's kind of an equation of when things get so bad, it's better to do it yourself, and there's some crossover with movies. And at what point are movies going to get so bad that it's going to inspire small filmmakers? And my thing was, I think The Eternals is going to be that movie that is going to say, it's going to tell a lot of people, we can get like $1 million together through a bunch of investors and maybe some crowdfunding and get some equipment, some sound equipment. And it's like, we're not going to make, who's that guy who did The Room for like, I don't know, it was like $5 million or something. It was like way, way over budget. You want to do something closer to The Clerks or Special Dead, keep it under $1 million, preferably under $500,000. Like for that, you can get like something like Clerks level. Yeah, you can get, I mean, that's not a whole lot of money to do a film for under $100,000. Yes, you can definitely get investors who will do that. Movies like this, if you're not familiar with the Eternals, let me get to the cartoon. This is what the Eternals look like, and I went through Jack Kirby's 1976, and I read the first 10 or 11 issues the other day. They're good, but like a little Kirby, the busy artwork goes a long way. A little Kirby goes a long way, which I know is probably an anthem to a lot of people. And I understand he's like limited with the color palette at the time. He only had so many printing processes. It was pretty limited. And a lot of this comics, and it was good, it was solid, but like the costumes are so friggin' ridiculous, even for 1976, that like, yeah, they don't translate to the big screen because they look just ridiculous. There's like doodads that don't do anything, but it's like, that's comics. So you're going to have to change it. Anyway, so these are the Eternals, a bunch of, and here's the thing, is like, I'm very, very not politically correct. So I'm reading these first 2 issues, and it was like, and Kirby's a Jewish guy, but it was like some Aryan fantasy. It was like, there was one black guy in the background. It's like, I don't want black people just replacing every single character, but you got to have more than one token guy in the background. I know it's weird for me to say that because I'm usually going the other way, but it's like, you got to have more than one. That was just a little bit weird. But then this is just dog shit. Sorry for the swearing. This is Selma Hayek, Angelina Jolie. Okay, they were solid actors. Selma Hayek's been in Dogma, which was one of Kevin Smith's 6 good movies. He made Clerks 1 and 2, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, and Jay and Silent Bob. That would be 6 excellent films. Then the dog food movies he made were Tusks, which I couldn't even get through that. Yoga Hosers, which I loved, but I understand, like, I'm touched in the head because I loved it. It was a garbage movie, but I liked it. Then he made Red State, which I couldn't even bring myself to watch because it seemed like just just propaganda from the left wing. And then he did a pilot on, it's on YouTube. It's called Hollyweed. And it was funny, but some of the jokes went in an expected direction, and it would not have been that hard to rewrite those jokes in an unexpected direction. Go, oh, you're saying you can write better than Kevin Smith? I'm saying for that pilot, Hollyweed, yes, I could have rewritten those jokes to go in an unexpected direction, not the... Like, if you know the punchline during the setup, then you got to change the punchline to just change it a little bit, and it would not have taken that much. Anyway, okay, when you diversify a cast, and people, I notice a lot of people say casted instead of cast, and I think it's cast. I don't think casted is even a word, is it? Is that the past tense or the future participle? I don't know. I failed grammar, but I don't think casted is right. Okay, so you don't open up, like, you're not going to get African, China, whatever the fuck fudge she is, whatever they are. She's Lebanese and Mexican or something. He's African and he's Indian. You're not going to get all, like, oh, we've covered the world. No, you're going to get nobody. That's just how people work. People want to see their own people there. I don't know how to, like, there's no international multicultural audience that's just waiting to snatch up films. Go back to Clerks. That Like you're selling to an audience. Like you want to find your market. Like it's like on YouTube, like successful YouTube channels, they find one thing and they stick to it and they make a ton of money doing it. They just do one thing. Like if you're a Star Wars channel and you just do that, you can be very successful doing that. It's channels that are potpourri channels that don't take off, but you know. So this is this potpourri, this United Colors of Bennington. This is going to inspire people to make their own movies. So go be Kevin Smith. Go read The Eternals, 1976, Jack Kirby. She made a movie that I think made $9 million. Club Dread cost $9 million. And actually, it tanked because it only made like $9 million, which is a shame. It's funny. But it was kind of like too graphic, too horror. It was like too much horror to be a comedy. It's kind of weird. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Go to Odysee and BitChute. And I don't know, pick up a movie camera, get some investors together, and go make the next Clerks. Go make the next $100,000 black and white movie.